Vedic, but it's not our line. As Krishna even himself says to Arjuna, don't be carried away by the flowery language of the Vedas. Krishna, the origin of the Vedas, says that. Because there is higher and there is inferior. Because from the material point of view, it's all high. From the Western point of view. Whoever starts to, I like Veda. Oh, really? What do you like? Well, I like to elevation to heavenly planets. You know, we go, well, so what did you say? Elevation? That's an interesting concept. Because in the Western culture, it's only degradation, it's not elevation. So if he even starts to think like this, first of all, going to heavenly planets, you must know you are not this body. Otherwise, what's the use to talk about this? You will not go there with this body for sure. They have even a religion in the West, who tells people, no, you will go with this body. The grace will open and you will sit there in heavenly planets watching TV with your grandmother. It's going to be a really happy time. Just join this church and it'll be okay. They paint you pictures like that. How much more simple? It's like a kindergarten, My dear kinder, I want to be a cosmonaut. I want to fly to the moon. Yes, very nice, People really believe this kind of things. The grace will open. When Jesus appears, the grace will be open, and then all the zombies come out. What a heavenly planets will be that. Zero philosophical background. I mean, common sense logic. They get very angry when you ask them like this. And when is coming out of the grave? Well, the grandfather in that shape, he will come out, woo! Hey, wait a minute, this is Halloween or something like this. So what is this? What are we celebrating here, actually? Zero answer, People, by thousands, they join millions, this kind of things. And they tell us, why are you doing this? Why are you chanting this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? Therefore, devotees have to be prepared. Answer. Therefore, Prabhupada trained us, for challenge all the time. He wanted us to, and if there was no challenge, he created a challenge. He created argument. He was the best communist, he was the best capitalist, he was the best atheist, and he wants some feedback. He said, do you understand what I'm talking about? What about if they say like this? Devotees should play these mock fights, yeah. So they are prepared. Because ultimately, what you realize quite soon, when you join this movement, people have no answers. They just cannot sustain a philosophical debate. At the end, they say this classical saying, well, that's you believe, I don't believe it. This was considered in the Vedic times like doping, it was like disqualified. Contest finished. He's kicked out from the Olympic Games. Because what do you mean believe? Don't bring believe in. Hey, here's logic. Think. Argue. Come on. Bring something. Well, I don't believe. In the West they go even worse. They go, I don't like you. I don't like you. So what? I don't like you too. What has this to do with that? This whole society is basically based on smell, touch, It's nothing, you cannot discuss philosophy here. You don't have even the foundation. Even some professor, doctor, you discuss with him after a while you realize, the man is just playing games, just mental games. His life has absolutely nothing to do with that. Like we had devotees here in Denmark. This is the upgraded version of social welfare. You just study and then you get some money and go to India. It's a little bit sophisticated social welfare, I would call it. And then I asked them, what do you have to do for that money? Well, I just come 2 times to Denmark and I just make some tests, And what is his name? I don't want to mention names, but it was very interesting. He said, in the first year I started to study, I made a real mistake. I started to argue. I said, but this is wrong in this book. And it is like that. It is not like this. Immediately I got a heavy warning issue. You cannot say it is like this, and it is not like that. Nobody can say it here. We are just studying. So Mr. Miller said like this, and Mr. Johansson said like that, and then we studied. Again, idiot number 1 said like this, idiot number 2 said like this, and the cuckoo number 3 said like that. And we studied. What did they say? When you studied for 40 years, you are a doctor, PhD. You know what all the idiots in the whole world say. And you can quote really nice. This is called university. I mean, please. Because actually the essential of the whole thing is you get some money for it. But that's not Brahmana, that's Shuddha. You get money. I can also just build bridges and fences or something like this, or carry some luggage in the train station and give me some money. Thank you very much. Or something like the same quality of work. It's nothing to do with some intellectual development, really. You just remember like a parrot. And that's all that you have to do. And you get some money, and thank you very much. Of course, in the devotee's case, argument can be, raised. What else do you want to do? I mean, you want to stay in India, and who's going to pay for this? Life is not for free. So that can be argued back and forth. But once again, it's only by the dint of devotional service we can justify our actions. If that devotional service is not there, then it's pure cheating, that's all. Immediately you are in the cheating category. So for devotees are the only ones who are actually not cheating. Because actually they are engaged in devotional service. But once again, how much? It's percentage, Therefore, Karma Mishra Bhakti, it can be mixed. A little bit for Krishna, a little bit for me. A little bit for Krishna, a little bit for me. And I know devotees who are very honest about this. They say, yeah, that's how I function. If I wouldn't get this 50% cut, then I wouldn't probably serve very much at all. Something for good, something for good. Especially Grihasthas are very, challenged by this. Brahmachari should not be challenged by that. They should really live. Like sannyasi. It's the same thing. Brahmachari is nothing else than an untrained sannyasi. And sannyasi should be a trained brahmachari. It's the same thing. But Grihastha, in the communistic countries, where everybody was stealing, they said, I'm not stealing for myself. I'm stealing for the family. It was like an excuse, of course not in a court, but amongst people it was very common. I'm a very renounced person. I'm stealing only for the family. And it's a fact in one sense, because the bigger the family is. I just met for 1 week people who have 6 children in one family. Small children. I mean, they're on marathon, next. 6 children, there's no sense gratification left. They will eat you up. You just go from one child to another the whole day. Mama, I need that, and I want that, and they're fighting. There's the sound coming from the team, it's like, whoa, you can't even sleep, There's all kinds of ranges, So there's any age, it will give you a certain pain. I know parents don't want to hear it, but it's fact. In any age, they say even sometimes small children, small problems, big children, big problems. Up to the point you just collapse. A child can give you a whole range of problems. Starting with being almost driven by a car, by ending by almost driving other people by car. It's like an unlimited. I mean, we are all results of this. A very devotee was basically a problem for his parents, sooner or later. But somehow people don't connect it. When I have a child, then it will do the same thing to me. No, this is going to be a very nice child. He'll be grateful, thankful. He'll always go, thank you very much that you took care of me so nicely. What can I do for you? Do you ever hear such a thing nowadays? For sure not. Thank you, and no, they always come and where's the money, Bhagavatam is describing that, It's natural. If you don't want to be exploited, then don't have a child. It's a natural way of exploitation. It's arranged like that. You have to be always served. you have to be always serving, and always in the service. By 6 children, definitely. I noticed by 2, they are still surviving. By 3, it's laws of nature taking over. Which is interesting, because sometimes the children amongst themselves develop a mechanism. The older one takes care of the younger ones, so they are only trained in austerity like this. They don't have their own childhood. No. Their brothers, sisters are very rare. And it creates like a miniature society. Single children, some of us are, I'm also one of these. They are very kind of, even I was raised in a very, very modest environment, but still you are learning to conduct your life on your own terms. You try always to strive for that, because you had your own little privacy comforts like that. Then you have the 6 brothers, so it's not so much privacy, and it's not so much comfort either. So it's a training, but it's a very, very heavy training. So we sometimes don't even understand. We think brahmachari stuff, there's no privacy and somebody's rolling over you. Well, that's what's happening in society all the time. Whose privacy anyway, really? Just a few minutes collapsing in the evening in front of the TV, that's not really privacy, either. Or you can lock yourself in a toilet and nobody bangs on the door. That's really enjoyment. Well, how long do you want to stay there? How long do you want to enjoy that? I heard even, the people are so tortured by the need of privacy. They enjoy even to stand in a queue on a highway in a car. Because, now I'm in my car, it's very, nobody is in my car. That's my car, and I'm standing on a highway and I listen to any channel I want. I listen to my own radio. It's very important, you have a big radio system. And I can smoke a cigarette, and nobody complains I'm smoking. So it's really luxury here to stand jammed in a highway. I have air conditioning here, yes. I'm enjoying now. Standing jammed in a highway. That's how poor people became, actually. And that comes all from the solid covering of ignorance, conducting one's life simply on animalistic principles. So that's Prabhupada concludes the Prabhupada very simply. For a devotee, this is good to know. We are not discouraging people to act piously, but we can immediately point to a higher dimension. That if you're engaged in devotional service, chant the holy name, and especially if you are engaged in the mission of the spiritual master, then all the other principles, are of a less value, and they are not so relevant. But again, only to the degree we are engaged, intensely on the other side. There's some questions or comments?
You mentioned this, how Prabhupada, he trained his devotees in argument and presented all kinds of angles. I was thinking it would be very nice that if we could do something like that.
Yeah, that's basically what the lectures are also for. Should come up with, Of course, we have to be careful who is lecturing, because once I dared at our GBC to play a Mayavadi after the lecture, and he tore me apart in a way where I just start to really understand. He's not talking in a analogy way. He's talking about me, And I grew up in an atmosphere where to be publicly exposed was the standard. It was not this kind of, I feel emotionally affected, you cannot talk publicly. Privately, maybe. As a brahmachari, it was not like this at all. We were really quite straight, a little bit, maybe too straight sometimes, because sometimes you have to be a little bit considerate. You cannot go publicly, Yeah, I saw him last night snoring, and who knows what else he's dreaming about, yeah? This is not sometimes very encouraging for devotional service. So, but I grew up in such an atmosphere, and I also realized when he did this to me, because he was treated by Srila Prabhupada in a much, much worse way. There's even a recording in the morning. him playing a socialist, communist, you could say. And Prabhupada sharpening the voice. Ultimately, he's telling him that he's a demon. And he goes, oh, and Prabhupada, furious. And then he goes, yeah, Prabhupada, yes, the communists and the socialists are demons. Prabhupada said, no, it's you are the demon. I don't think he didn't ask anything for a long time, Prabhupada is, went on him straight. I think he never forgot that. And we don't want to go further beyond this point much, but he proved him wrong. He proved him right. There was something in the heart from Prabhupada's side. So to argue with Prabhupada was dangerous because you never know how far it will go. He knew exactly each single devotee his hang-ups. Like one devotee was very much into Bible and Jesus. There were many devotees like this those days. Bible, Jesus, and this. And Prabhupada chose, whenever they met, deal with him like with a Christian. Always challenging. Right away in the morning walk. This morning walks were actually very, very intense sometimes, because Prabhupada walked very fast and the arguments came also very fast. One morning walk, Prabhupada stopped and looked at that particular devotee. So, where are you Christians now? It was early in the morning. And the devotee was going, well, they are all sleeping. Prabhupada said, therefore I say, they are all nonsense. Just kept on walking. Yeah, this kind of thing, curing more or less devotees from their sentiment. The thing is, it's very sentimental. There's no, because those devotees who actually would understand really the message of Jesus, they have no problem to be devotees. They don't see it but Jesus said it, and Jesus this, and Jesus that. Why? We are practicing service to God, so that's what Jesus wanted, so what's the big deal? A real Christian should have absolutely no problem of chanting Hare Krishna and being Hare Krishna. Zero problem. But Kanishtas, that's a problem. And demons, definitely. So that's where the problem comes from. It's not coming from Krishna here and Hare Krishna there. And this is not coming from that. It's coming from, no, I will serve God my way. And even amongst devotees, we have always these problems. These problems come from my way. I will serve condition. And then there's a problem. Because he has this way and he has this way. And it goes. But actually, if you just wonder, how can I serve Krishna? Prabhupada said, the only question I ask my spiritual master, how can I serve you? That's all. No condition, no concept, no pre-cooked concept. How can I serve you? Then suddenly life gets very easy. Do the needful. And Krishna takes care immediately. Hey, he asked, how can he serve me? Yeah, of course, then Krishna has to take care. But as long as there's a condition, my way, Krishna consciousness this way, I will present it that way because it's me. It will be presented in a way it was never presented before. It's so unique. Then we have a problem. Oh, and you come to the point, actually, I'm the chosen one. Yes. The whole Krishna consciousness is channeled through me only. That's the time for the special place where they keep all these people, which think that they are the chosen ones. This is a special place for them. They are peaceful, they keep you in apartment number 12. Apartment number 13, there's only iron bars on the windows and all that. So you cannot come out. The chosen one cannot come out. But Maya is like that too. Maya goes, he is thinking he is the chosen one. Actually, he thinks he's God. Very nice. Then Maya has this, the gas flame of lust. She just turns the flame up and it goes and burning up like a piece of paper, this. Because essentially madness comes from lust. That's very insignificant. So, but we should be trained, yeah? That doesn't mean we should study this. Prabhupada said we should not study other people's, things. For a very special department in a scientific department, you must do that for being able to speak the language they talk and to translate this to them, maybe. But for a common devotee, Prabhupada absolutely discouraged it. He said, if you meet somebody who has something, philosophy, religion or something, ask only one simple question. One simple question. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And in this way, you find out that 99% of people, they don't have any goal. As we mentioned before, in the academic world, there is no goal. I just study this and I just study that, that's all. So, there's no conclusion, really.
In the same time, Prabhupada says we should know their philosophy as good or better than they do. Then you can defeat them.
That's right, from a Vedic point of view. And that's very easy. But you don't have to go in details, studying the life of the apostles and come on, things like this. You don't even know if it's right. There's no parampara. There's no verification. There's no verification that even the information they present is valid. And we are already commenting on that. You can get yourself so embarrassed because even amongst Gandhis there's constant argument going on. Yeah. They love this. In a Christian line, it's endless. Studying, analyzing pictures of Leonardo da Vinci, and was this figure on the right side of Jesus his wife actually? Or was it another apostle? We don't know. They spent time with this. Maybe Leonardo da Vinci was drunk, who knows what, and they just, where is this all this coming from? They love this to speculate. So we are already speculating on a speculation. Great. So why to embarrass oneself like this? Why not just, what is your goal? Because there's not too many goals, What do you want? There's staying in a material world, including going to heavenly planets, or going back to Godhead. What else do you want? I want a comfortable existence in the material world. We can say, sorry, impossible. And immediately you go just from highest planets to the lowest, all places of birth and death. We're finished. Prabhupada wanted us to be like this, conclusive, simple to the point. And they hate it. They really hate this. They say it's not fun with this guy. He's fanatic. What do you mean fanatic? Define a fanatic. I want to know what's your definition of a fanatic. You don't even know that. I can tell you what a fanatic is. Somebody who acts upon his emotions. Somebody who acts on the dictation of the mind. I can give you a 3 hours lecture about a fanatic. From the Shastra, again, always the Shastra behind. You don't even know, you're calling me something you don't know what it is. I remember once my brother, he just go for the words they are using. They don't know what they are using it. They say, it is like that. And then what? What that? What did you say? They don't even know. It's like one of my genius brothers, he said, he discovered in a scientific field, they are using the term scientific theory. Right? And how many times we heard this? Scientific theory. He said, listen what they are saying. Scientific means proven, and theory means unproven. They will agree. So what you are saying, this is the proven, unproven. Listen what you are saying. Don't come with Krishna and God and just forget it now. You are just mumbling around. Listen what you are saying. Scientific theory. So scientific means proven and theory means unproven. So you're completely contradicting yourself right away there. This kind of catches we have to get, to expose them. especially when it came to this scientists, this high-flying scientist. Prabhupada was furious, said tear them apart. Because it doesn't make even sense materially. It's no common sense. And the vocabulary, just listen to the vocabulary they are using. After all this research and wow, and then comes the big black hole. Or primordial soup. Soup. It's like from some cookbook. They use vocabulary of children sometimes. But it's very easy when you are based in the Shastra to catch up on, like they say, there was an explosion in the beginning. Yes, we can verify. Universe is expanding and imploding. That already Mr. Einstein got. So therefore he started to become a little bit religious because he realized this gigantic thing here is organized by somebody. This didn't come by chance. Any serious scientist will come to the point, this is not a chance. There's a mechanism, it's exploding and then imploding. So this much here we can comment upon, but why to go further? Why to notice like this? And they get lost in this and then they somewhere in introduction. Why to just change Prabhupada vocabulary? Prabhupada himself even said, I never was a book writer. I never was a writer. I was selling medicine. And he has so many books on writing. Prabhupada was essential and down to the point. Better to be simply truthful as to be a fancy hypocrite. This is the logic we should maintain. That's purity behind the whole thing. Who is me? Where did I learn? What is my education? What is my academic grade? Nothing. I dropped out of the whole system completely when I was 18. I don't even have to ask sometimes such stupid questions when they ask me about something like how the society works, because I don't know. I barely learned to understand the concept of tax declaration. Oh, yeah, there's taxes, to declare taxes. I never paid any in my life, So, well, what? I don't know these papers. Papers. But karmis, that's the only thing they talk about. This paper and this job and that thing and that application and that thing. And, yes, I got the paper! Yes, I was working for 1 year in one devotee's prasadam factory. They didn't talk about prasadam, how to make the prasadam better. They were very good, very professional in what they were doing, but the talk was how to get that paper. Because there's different gradations of ecological. That's German, Then you get this stamp. Super mega ecological. With this, you can really start to make big business. Some fools come in and they go, no, this is ecological, but not super mega ecological. What shall we do to be super mega ecological? No, you have to import papaya, dried papaya, only from Guatemala. Oh yeah, we will do that. Just to get to that stamp. I can go endlessly, it's just when you watch this, you think, it's a dried papaya, I eat dried papaya, so what? Just eat it. Super ecological, mega. And then next year somebody comes with another title. This is like, always hunting after these designations. Who even started this whole game with designations? This whole ecological business. Ecological means normal. Nobody was spraying